Miss, Beanie, facing a must-win game today to keep their playoff hopes alive. Do you trust that Lane Kiffin and company can get it done?
You know what, I really do. This is one of the more interesting games in the country, and I trust Lane Kiffin because of that high-octane, that potent offense that they have. Jackson Dart leading the way. Last week he had 515 yards passing, a school record, but then you got Jordan Watkins on the outside edge that had 254, Caden Lee, so they didn't miss Trey Harris out there. And then on the flip side of that, when you look at Georgia, Carson Beck has been an extreme issue for Georgia in taking care of the football. If he does not take care of the ball, Ole Miss is going to capitalize and going to score with this offense, making it very tough for Georgia to win this football game. I like Lane Kiffin's chances, and give me Jackson Dart to get in this Heisman race after today.
Okay, little dark horse there.
I'm with Beanie, and I want to piggyback off something he said, because we want to talk about Lane Kiffin for a second. Him and Steve Sarkisian are from the same coaching tree, so I have to be confident in the fact that Lane Kiffin studied Texas's offense and Steve Sarkisian and their game plan against Georgia just as much as he studied Georgia's defense, and he is coming prepared with a plan. I fully expect him to have answers for this Georgia pass rush, to have options in the secondary, because we know Georgia's secondary is not what they usually are. So I fully believe that Lane Kiffin has a plan. It's just about if it works. Do his players show up and play? And we've talked about it. Lane Kiffin does not win these kind of games. Well, you've got the offensive firepower, you've got the quarterback, you've got the skill players, you've even got the defense. Ole Miss's defense is much improved than what we've seen in the past couple years, but can he get these guys geared up to play a very good Georgia football team?
I'm curious what the quarterback on set has to say, because you mentioned this quarterback matchup. It's Jackson Dart and Carson Beck in this one. Two quarterbacks who have been trending in opposite directions. Who do you have having the edge?
At the quarterback position, I have to go with Jackson Dart. He's been more consistent. He is, I think if he wins this game, he would jump probably more than any other player this weekend in the Heisman race, getting a win against Georgia. Carson Beck is having a crisis of confidence right now. He does not feel comfortable on the field. He's not seeing the field well, and it is impacting his success, right? I mean, 3 interceptions versus Florida, and they were moving the ball at will. He even said after the game, the only thing that stopped was me throwing interceptions. So where is his psyche now? And I would say his confidence has to be an all-time low. You know what that means? I think you're going to see ETN get a heavy dose of the run. And I think the formula for a Georgia win is the same thing that happened at Texas. Bring that defense, travel with that, and hopefully Carson Beck doesn't throw more interceptions, and you get something going on the ground. Because I don't picture any world with Jackson Dart throws for 500 yards against Georgia's defense. But can he get 300? Because I think
easily.
Can he get 30 points, 35 points? Because I think that's enough to win the game. You said easily. I don't know.
300 yards easily?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't believe it. I don't believe in this Georgia secondary. I'll go back to the Mississippi State game. Mississippi State absolutely torched them down the field. And like I talked about before, the Georgia-Texas matchup, the secondary gets really confused with eye candy, with motion. When you take one receiver and motion from one side of the field to the other, they're not disciplined with their eyes. And when you've got Jackson Dart with all these weapons, I think 300 yards is, I'm not going to say it's a lock, but I'm going to say I would be confident that he would be able to do that. Plus, we are talking about Carson Beck having a historically bad season for his career. If you can guarantee that that Jackson Dart and Lane Kiffin in this offense are going to get 2 or 3 extra possessions, I like Ole Miss's chances on offense. I'm going to guarantee that. I think Carson Beck is good for 2 picks today.
Okay.
Thank you. That might be closer to a lock.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you mentioned the run game for Georgia, Danny. On the opposite sideline, Ole Miss, you just heard in our injury report, Henry Parrish is out. Will be on the sideline today. This running back room for the Rebels just facing so much adversity. How do you overcome that?
It's hard. You just got to stay healthy, and it's not as easy to say it as to do it, but you got to live in the training room. Guys don't want to do that. You have to take care of yourself from a rehabilitation standpoint. You got to get your rest. You got to eat. You got to hydrate. And I'm not going to say that they haven't done that, but whatever has kept these guys off the field is obviously a problem. And then in a game like this, it puts immense pressure on Jackson Dart to throw for 300 yards or 400 yards, to have them, put them in a favorable chance to win. But you just want to see those guys get back healthy, because when Ole Miss can be balanced, whenever they can run the ball and throw the ball, that's when they're the most dangerous.
Watch out for Jackson Dart and his legs, because he is the second leading rusher on the team, and they're banged up. Like, I don't expect him to be running a ton of quarterback leads, but it's those hidden yards, key situations, third downs, fourth downs, trying to convert. That's why I think he's dangerous.
And navigating the pocket with this Georgia pass rush, because that's something that Quinn Ewers could not do.
Remember Arch did? Remember Arch couldn't throw. grow.
Exactly.
He's still so young.
But then you've got Jackson Dart, who's got both. He can navigate the pocket, he can use his legs, and he can push the ball down the field to his playmakers. Like, he's got a very, very good opportunity for himself to set himself up for a Heisman conversation, to win this game, to get themselves back in the CFP conversation. Like, they have everything on the table in front of them today.
Daddy, we talked you into it. Ole Miss is winning, right?
Yeah, I think we just did. I think you just.
I think we're there. We're going to pick it later.
All right, we are going to pick it later. I like that tease.